Greetings, shave fans, SuperCurve honing fans, type 2 diabetes rescued by keto fans, and carnivore fans. It is Bill here. It is November the 12th, 2023. It's been a while since I've done a shave video. Like many people, we've kind of rolled back a little bit. I don't know, totally why. I suspect there's some diminished interest. I've had other interests that have been driving, but I'm still straight shaven. Although many times I'll pick up another tool, a shave head or whatever, and as you can see, I'm not shaving as often as I should. But what I did today was inspired by two people who are faithful fans of straight razor shaving. That would be my friend Long Haul Tanker and Martin Test Shaves, Martin Wood. I'm not sure what his screen name is anymore here on YouTube, but really great guy over in the UK and has a love for straight razor shaving and likes to do. Both of these gentlemen enjoy this as a hobby, as I do, where this is what we do because it interests us. Anyhow, both of them were recently talking about the use of Coticules in honing. I have one Coticule. I've never had much success with it, and the last razor I used for a straight shave was this one here. This is a 6/8 Ti. Has a beautiful French point and a beautiful horn scales. I just love the pattern on this, and it's for the most part been a good razor. Although I've had other 6/8 razors that do have a tendency to shave a little bit better than that. And I've got for a comparison. I've done some touch up on the edge on that. I'll talk about that in a minute. For a comparison, I got the 7/8 also in horn. And this one has about 30 shaves on it, 30 plus. I'm not real sure. I stopped counting. I did that after while there was some discussion over my particular honing method going on, and there were people who many have respect for, and some don't have any respect for, but these people have made a statement that if you hone by the method that I do, and I have videos on that, and it's one of those things. It's strictly going to be something that falls into the category of those that want to expand their experience, do something different, and like many things, you're always in pursuit of, much like the game of golf, everybody's in pursuit of that perfect golf shot. Everybody is in pursuit of that perfect shave, because it is a balance of equipment and technique. Sometimes the particular conditions you're in. So it's this balance, and it kind of makes it something that some of us of the male mentality enjoy. I don't even know if are you allowed to say stuff like that on YouTube anymore? Male mentality, or doesn't that like a is that like a pronoun or something like that? Then that could be regulated nowadays. I'm not real sure. And speaking of regulation, if you are of a conservative viewpoint, check out the somewhat liberal persuasion, but free speech advocate, Russell Brand on YouTube. At the request of government agencies, because he was not playing according to their rules. The government agencies encouraged him to be defunded. He's still here on YouTube, but check him out. He has a lot to say. The lather I'm using today is Sterling Spearmint, Glacial Spearmint. I got this. I love this. I've only used it a couple of times, but I waited. I knew eventually he would. At one time he had this and it went out of stock, and he brought it back. I don't know if he brought it back for the summer, but I got some of that. I like that. I like the aftershave. It's a refreshing spearmint. When you begin to lather that, you get an explosion of spearmint. If you are intolerant of glacial level menthols, avoid it. So I took a little scoop of that using the little scooper spoon that I got from my friend Michael Schultz. The bowl that I use, I pre-bowl lathered in this symmetrical pottery bowl, which I really, really love. They make some of these different steampunk things. They have one with a lid on it. I think they're on Etsy. I think if you Google up symmetrical pottery, you find these. But I think they make these things, they put them together and they somehow coat it with ceramic and fire it and then glaze it and all. It's not a cheap thing. For me, it is a luxury. But I'm not, there's, in this aspect of wet shaving, lots of people collect lots of different things, and there are people who have like all kinds of scuttles and bowls, and some people have everything. Okay, I have a few bowls. That was one that I liked and I bought it. Really, I could do with one, and there's a lot of people who, the one that I don't have is a Captain's Choice, and there are a lot of people that they have that one, and that's all they have. So what about this razor? This razor, the last time I used it, I thought it was a little needy. I don't know why, because I had not shaved with it a whole lot since I had honed it up. But with the discussion with the aforementioned great gentleman, I thought, well, let me give a whack with my Coticule. So my Coticule is, and in the SuperCurve, okay, my Coticule has I don't know if you can, that's pretty curvy. That's the same shape that my Coticule is done on. So this is where I do the compound hollow bevel. Okay, where I do the back bevel on it. So I did the back bevel, and then I didn't get my scope out. I didn't want to get all my stuff out, so I got some stuff out. And then the other stuff, and for a comparison's sake, I don't know if I can illustrate that. This is done on the Jared. Both of these were shaped on the Jared plate. Okay, this was shaped on the one less curvy dimension, but the curvature across here matches the curvature of this, so that you can see I've done these at right angles on the plate, and this is more curvy than this is. Let's see if I can get a little view here. You can kind of see, looking at the one in the foreground to you is almost looks a little bit flat comparatively speaking. But I did the back bevel on the only Coticule I have, which is a SuperCurve. And then I decided to pull out something. I didn't want to pull out all my stones and go through. I didn't like what I was seeing with my packing peanut test. Okay, I didn't like necessarily packing peanut test before it went there. And if I look at it under a glass, it's very typical of what I think a lot of people have seen. If you look under a glass, and I didn't get my scope out with the Coticule, is they can put some abrasions, some scratches, because they are natural mineral type things of diverse particle size. Coticule being the one where the garnets in there begin to break up and get smaller, and that's one of the things that makes it unique. Mine is a fast cutter. It's not, stones are different. So anyhow, I did that, and then I took out, and maybe I'll title the thing, but I took out what I called the SuperCurve cookie hone, which is a synthetic manufactured product by Keith Johnson. He sells that on his website or his Etsy site. He calls it the Gammonite XXX barber hone. Okay, and it's one of those things. It's a novelty thing. I consider it a novelty thing. It's something like, okay, so if you do this for fun, buy one of these things and play with it. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to take, because I put a curve on that, I shaped that, and and I had seen a lot of things that I liked about it. The abrasives in there are what he describes as sub-micron and sub-micron, meaning less than 1 micron, or about 1 micron, and below 1 micron, like 1/10 of a micron, or maybe even less. Okay, so I got that, and he's compounded on some things in it. You could see my video on that if you just Googled up SuperCurve cookie hone. Okay, my video will come up on that. And I put some humor in there. Anybody that may have an interest in a piece like that, I think he has one left. I doubt if he'll make any more of those. I don't know. You know, he gets a reasonably good buck for that, but it is some labor on his part. Okay, so I did that, just those 2 steps. I didn't get the normal easy push cutting on the packing peanut with this that I normally do. My backup or comparative razor, the 5/8 Ti, all I did was strop that. So I'm going to see what happens, and I do have another backup just in case. Okay, so and I'm following my principles of what I consider good shave principles on regardless of tool. Lowest angle, sharp steel, lowest angle, lightest touch. So what I'm feeling out of the gate is, and it could be the length of my beard, that this is not that super sharp that I like. Okay, and for me, the level of smoothness, I find it a little bit more, a little easier to determine how smooth it is on with this kind of level of growth with a subsequent pass. Although that seems pretty good on the way, coming up on the way up. I'll save the mustache towards the end. So for the comparative, the 7/8 Ti. So right out of the gate, that cuts easier. So is it the tool? Is it my honing? You know, it's why we do what we do. I did subsequently strop the 6/8 piece. This was run through initially strop progression, and then maintain on a 1/10 micron on this shape like this. This was what went on the 6/8, and the final stropping on the 6/8 was only done on this. Although I did strop this one on a more shape like this one. And maybe that's what I should have done on the 6/8 as well. Because hands down, 7/8 has a beat. Okay, so I usually don't do this. I usually don't strop mid-shave. Well, some people do, I don't. And just sitting here talking, and so this is the final leather strop that I made. I made this, I cannot remember if this was a piece of leather I got from Tony Miller, or whether this was a piece of leather that I actually got directly from the outfit in Chicago. It's Horween horse leather, okay? So I'm just gonna so that'll get a feel a little bit closer to the edge with the leather. And based on the mustache, that could have been a little bit different. So let me use, I'm going to be like Martin, aren't I? Hi, Martin. Still the 7/8, the comparative tool does seem to be a little bit better. Close, better with the evaluation of the first pass. So speaking of, I was talking to a long haul tanker on the telephone a couple times this week. Just a wonderful gentleman. Good friend. Wish we lived closer. Of course, the guy, when he's busy, he's on the road most of the time. So, and then when he's home, he generally needs to pay attention to domestic interests. But I encourage you to look up both of those gentlemen, their channels, watch them. Both are interesting. They're not commercialized entities that are they're out making shave videos because they want to monetize or get free stuff or whatever. They're making shave videos over the love of the hobby. As am I. So that additional stropping did seem to help a little bit of this piece. I'll finish up the shave with this. I'm sitting here talking. Not paying as close a careful attention as I should be. So I did bring in another tool into the bathroom here for just in case. It'll be a shavette. And my friend Mike Schultz sent me a couple of a pack of Gillette Nasset blades, which if anybody remembers the first time I shaved this around here, watching that video, I'm getting a little bit better at it. And I did use that one razor there. I don't think I've honed it since then. But I find that on some of the real stipply things in there, not having an ease of cut, which is where the natural tendency is to somehow apply more pressure to compensate. And that begins to upset the balance in my mantra of sharp steel, lowest angle, lightest touch. So you begin to adjust to compensate. Not that there's anything bad about the shave. We're just kind of always interested in the ultimate. Also, don't forget to look on. I'm not monetized. I don't get any free stuff from anybody, but I have far more Sterling soaps than anything else, and I do love Sterling soaps. I encourage people to support them because of their product, their service, and their competitive price. And I think they have done well by those that have a shaving hobby. So the Coticule, I just didn't like what I saw under the glass on the Coticule. I did touch this up with the SuperCurve cookie hone, which that hone is not supposed to be a finishing hone. It's supposed to be used as a barber hone. I find a good use in it in what I did here. Because you can, under a glass on this, bear in mind that I have a compound hollow bevel or multifaceted bevel, if you will, and things being done on a curve are a little bit different. So you can't do the typical thing about hone with a slurry and then drop down to a running water and you just don't feel a stiction because you're not trying to hone with everything in contact all at the same time. You're trying to hone off of a curve, and you need to move the piece around that. and under a glass you can see them under the compounds of the curve. You can see in the backest part of the bevel. Okay, so if this was your bevel, my bevel has a curve in it like this. So back in here you would see scratches, and up in here where the edges you would see it being, those scratches being removed. Oh, wait till you guys see the aftershave I got. When I went down after my birthday in October, I'm 66 by the way, and no longer a diabetic, thanks to the adopting of eating a plant-based diet that has been filtered through an animal with a digestive system to digest plants. So basically I eat meat. Very little vegetation. I do eat some. I'm allowed to eat some. Big thing along in that. I have finally been able to give up cream in my coffee. That was a big thing. And when I went keto, I started using heavy cream instead of milk, and because milk has some sugar in it. And I did the 3 passes, but I did not do what I normally do because I'm talking. Did not do the fool's pass. And I could feel it. Anyhow, I found that there were weeks that drinking a lot of coffee and a tablespoon of cream in a cup of coffee, heavy cream now, okay, that the calories in that over the period of a week were let's say in the neighborhood of 3,000, which is a bit shy of the energy within 1 pound of human body fat. And I hit on a weight loss stall because when you're 50 pounds heavier than, when I was 50 pounds heavier than what I am now, I'm schlepping around, 50 pounds, 8 pounds to a gallon, like six, a little bit better than 6 gallons of water. You might as well carry 2-3 gallon buckets of water around everywhere you go. It takes a certain amount of additional energy to do that I don't have to do anymore. But as if there's anybody who has a concern, has a weight issue, has a diabetes issue, and should decide to do what I went after, look up Dr. Ken Berry or Dr. Sean Baker. They both have great videos on the carnivore diet and the benefits thereof. Okay, so that's a little bit better. you might be getting a better view of me doing this than I am, because I'm looking in the mirror and you're looking from the camera right here at me. Okay, so that feels pretty good. So that's, I'm gonna, let me see for a little bit of cleanup. So the SuperCurve cookie hone has recovered this razor. Although next time I get my honing gear out, I'm going to redo this one in the normal stuff that I do. Another thing that I've changed up, I had been not putting any kind of an oil, or for a while there I was putting Vaseline on my blades. And I got some Renaissance wax, which is like for horn, wood, metal, anything really. It's like a solvent, and some type of a solvent, and a paraffin wax. It's used by museums for preservation, long-term preservation, and it goes on just about any material. So I've been doing that. Where was I on the heavy cream? So I've finally been able to ditch that. Okay, and I've very rapidly started back in weight loss again, because you know, once you train your body to use fat as a fuel, and you're doing that, and the alum block is feeling pretty good. So so the better shaver was the 5/8 tool. I'm sorry, the 7/8 tool, not the 7/8 over the 6/8. But those 6/8 TI pieces in that stamping format, sometimes they have different tips on them and that kind of stuff. They don't all have that French point. Sometimes rounded, sometimes square, sometimes like a barber notch or something like that. Usually they're, as far as I'm concerned, some of the best. I have a few of those, and I think they're some of the best. They are with, I'm using a balm, Sterling Glacial. Is it glacial, or it's just menthol? It's not glacial level, unscented. It does, unscented doesn't mean it doesn't have a smell to it, because it does have a lot of natural oils and stuff in there that do have a scent to them, not a decorative type scent, but you can smell them. And it's got a bunch of stuff. I do like this stuff. I wanted to see if I could replace the Pro Rasso, and I still like Pro Rasso. As a matter of fact, I used the Pro Rasso pre-shave today. Didn't show that. The tool that I had for backup and didn't use was this trusty $10 Shavette with the recessed blade in a holder. This is the tool that I recommend, and I know Jared has some of these at the Superior Shave, although I don't recommend Focus anymore because they shafted my friend the Deacon Shaves, I think it is, in Texas. Great guy. They shafted him on a piece that really didn't have a good fit for it, and they blamed him. And it was like, I shave with it, and the thing you shave and the cap comes loose. Okay, so for the aftershave that I was going to say that we had, I'm a little over where I usually go. Usually go 30 minutes. When I went down to visit my brother, I had not used my suitcase in a long time, because I don't like to travel anymore, since I used to pack my suitcase on Monday and run out of town, come back on Friday. I just don't like, I'm a homebody now. Okay. I found this in that suitcase. Okay. And being a Brute fan, which is, I use more of this stuff right here than anything else. This is Brute Splash On is my usual daily daily go-to, even though I got bottles and bottles and bottles of all kinds of aftershaves and that. I found this, and I don't even know if I've used it since I got it out. But this is unobtainium. You cannot get this. You might be able to get this on the internet, but Brute or whoever it is, who is the people that markets this? It's just called bruteworld.com. Okay, and they came out with this in a couple other flavors. I remember quite a number of years ago, before I took up shaving as a hobby. I couldn't find the green stuff, so I bought this, and I had that in my suitcase. It has a somewhat of a more fruity kind of smell. Maybe it has a little bit of some of the fougere type nature of the real Brute, but less of the citrusy and more of a. It might be a more modernly acceptable scent, although I have no idea. I wish I'd have thought to buy a whole bunch of this then when it was available on the shelf. So thanks, my friends, for tuning in. Be sure to look up the guys I thought of. I hope you all have a great week. Stay safe. Don't always believe what you hear. Especially from the news. So take care, my friends. This is Bill, out. Bye.